We brought it all together, made the first chip, made the first system. As a side job, I wrote the combat cartridge and I wrote the Video Olympics cartridge for that machine. If you do a good job in this trade and you're lucky and you sell a lot of stuff, you get to do it again. So we got to do our second system. And I got to be the system architect working for Jay. And we came up with a lot of different things to do in the system, 3 ASICs. And they did, the kinds of things they did mirrored what the Amiga did later. Brought all that to fruition. At the tail end of that, instead of writing cartridges, I wrote production test code for manufacturing before I left Atari. So, where did we wind up? This is what the inside of the Atari personal computer looked like. And it had a processor, it had what we would call an address unit, or ANTIC, or Agnes. It had a device that handled the TV output, which was called the CTIA in this system, and was called Daphne or Denise, mirrored in the Amiga. And we built a chip that did the non-video I.O., which in this machine was called Pokey, as in pots and keyboards. And it was mirrored in Porsche or Paula in the Amiga.
6502, one of the major sources of 6502 was from Cinertech, where Jay was on the design team.
We actually considered doing a 6509, but we didn't ship it. It later turned into the 65816, which they used in the Apple IIc or E. They later used it. Yes. Anyway, so this is the architecture that was Jay's and my second system. And then we'll talk about the third system. The next slide, please. The day I left Atari in June of 1979, this is the last diagram in my engineering notebook. And it's talking about, let's build a stops out, best we can build, high-powered entertainment computer. And it had a Z8000 or 68000 class CPU. We didn't know what it was yet, it was just going to be better. And dual port memory, and things that talk to serial stuff, and disk stuff, and audio stuff, and video stuff, and maybe something that manipulates the video. We were thinking about this in 1979. But Jay had already left in March, February, and I left in June.